Might have won the big league title in style. Now the Premiership is in the sights of Leeds and Bradford Northern. A win for either side at Headingley could mean a home tie next week. So it's a gritty Yorkshire derby. It's been another inconsistent season at Headingley, but round the turn of the year they enjoyed a purple patch that lifted any threat of relegation. Sheffield Eagles were brought crashing to earth, but defeat in the Challenge Cup semi-final meant that Leeds had only the Premiership to play for. Bradford have been the big league's improvers this season. They just missed being relegated 12 months ago, but under coach Peter Fox, confidence has been restored, and they scored one of the tries of the season on Sky. Deep in the mists of time back in September, Leeds were going through the horrors. Their defence was just caving in, and they conceded 36 points to their nearest neighbours. Steve McGowan chose the Leeds game to begin his scoring spree, the first of his 20 tries this season. The Bradford Boars are in line for a big league double over Leeds. The last time we saw them, Paul Medley ran in 4 tries against Wakefield. Simon Irving's returned to the fold for Leeds after 10 months in the wilderness. Home advantage holds the key to the Premiership. Will Odsal host the tie in the first round next week, or will it be fireworks at Headingley when the race for Old Trafford begins? This is the Leeds side. Alan Tate is the fullback. On the wing, it's Jim Fallon. In the centre, the big Kiwi, Kevin Iro. Simon Irving moves into the centres because Craig Innes misses his first match since he joined Leeds. And it means a debut on the wing for Jonathan Scales, the young man who was brought in from Newcastle Gosforth not long ago. Gary Schofield is the standoff at 6. It's Andy Gregory in 7. Up front, Steve Malloy wears 8. James Lowes wears 9. And Great Britain international Paul Dixon wears 10. Second row, youngster Lee Harland is only 18, he's in 11. Gary Mercer, the New Zealand international, is in 12. And the lead skipper is Ellery Hanley, who's the loose forward in 13. And the coach here at Headingley is Doug Lawton. Bradford know that they must stop Leeds winning by a margin of 32 points or more. And if they do that, it will be Bradford who will have home advantage in the Premiership next week. This is the Bradford team. Roger Simpson at full-back. On the wing, it's Mick Taylor wearing 2. In the centre, Steve McGowan, the club's leading try scorer. Alongside him, Tony Marchant wears 4. And Dio Powell plays only his 3rd game of the season on the wing in 5. David Watson, the Kiwi, is in 6, the standoff half. And Derek Fox is the scrum half wearing 7. David Hobbs is the Bradford Northern captain. The prop forward wears 8. And a first for Neil Summers. Summers, a hooker today for the very first time. He's in 9. Roy Powell moves up to the front row. He's the prop forward in 10. It's Paul Medley, who is in 11. Alongside him, Carl Furbank, Great Britain international, in 12. And former Leeds star David Heron completes the Bradford Northern lineup. The coach, another former Leeds man, ex-Leeds coach, now very much in charge at Odsal, Peter Fox. And David Heron leads Bradford Northern onto the Headingley stage on his first return to Headingley since his transfer. Big day then for David Heron, the Bradford Northern captain for the day. And they know that only the top 2, Wigan and St Helens, have won at Headingley in the big league this season. Paul Medley, last time we saw Bradford Northern, was in wonderful form. He is another former Leeds man, 4 years here. 44 tries, but 63 tries now in 4 seasons at Bradford Northern for the 1988 British Lion, and 18 touchdowns this season so far. Peter Fox, the Bradford Northern coach, who has done a wonderful job at Odsal Stadium this season. Regal Trophy finalists and Challenge Cup semi-finalists. Only Wigan toppled them. Here come Leeds. They know that quite simply the job is to score more than 32-point victory against Bradford today, and then they will secure themselves a home tie in the Premiership. And the Premiership remains the big target for Leeds now that their Challenge Cup ambitions were obliterated by Widnes. Let's check the substitutes for you. Graham Holroyd, the youngster who made such an impressive debut. 2 tries on his debut, you may remember, against Sheffield Eagles here on Sky Sports. He's in 14. And the veteran Andy Goodway, the forward sub, in 15. And for Bradford, it's Tony Anderson in 14 and Glenn Barraclough in 15, just in case the ploy of moving Neil Summers to the hooker's role doesn't quite come off. Gary Schofield appears to have patched up his differences now with Leeds. He was suspended recently. Returned to that match at Castleford last week. A match that Leeds won to set up this thrilling end to the season for them, bearing in mind the Premiership Trophy playoff places. Cool day at Headingley, quite blowy. And the match referee, John Connolly, 33 years old, from Wigan. He's been on the Grade 1 list for 3 seasons now, and he is one of the best young officials in the big league. Talks to the players all the time, and he's just telling the 2 captains how he's going to run the show here at Headingley this afternoon. And interestingly, David Hobbs taking the toss, deciding exactly what happens as far as Bradford are concerned. So David Heron being allowed to lead the club out on this, his return to Headingley, but Hobbs remains the leader on the field. So a big game for these 2 sides. The top 4 beckons for them both. Leeds and Bradford Northern separated only by, what, 6 to 10 miles, no more. It's a short journey up the M62. Bradford have made it. Plenty of their supporters have as well. And Gary Schofield gets this match at Headingley underway. Important 80 minutes for both sides. Big mistake immediately from Paul Medley, knocking on right on his goal line.
What a bad start there by Medley on his return to Headingley. But you could see the very strong wind, which will be to Leeds' advantage in this first half. It was an excellent kickoff, very high.
It means that Leeds have the advantage straight away from the scrum. Irving to Schofield, he brings Kevin Iro into it, and Iro is grounded by Carl Furbank. Lows the dummy half. This is Gary Mercer. Mercer running diagonally across the face of play. Marchant is there, so too David Heron. They bring him down. Important early moments for Leeds on the attack and for Bradford's defence. That was Malloy with the drive for Leeds. Lows again. Andy Gregory changes the direction of play. It bounces off the chest of Dixon, and Bradford gratefully have it back.
Well, you could see the pass from Gregory was very hard indeed, bouncing off the chest of the prop forward Dixon. A little bit of misunderstanding there. I got the impression that Dixon thought that he was the dummy runner, expecting the ball to go behind him.
Summers at acting halfback. Neil Summers, normally a stand-off half or a scrum half, playing the hooker's role there today for the first time. Here's Medley now, his second touch. That's a bit more secure. Good tackling by Simon Irving. It's the last one for Bradford. Hobbs just drills the ball down the touchline. It finds touch. It doesn't find touch. It's spun back into the field of play, and Alan Tate is able to run it out for Leeds.
That was amazing, that the ball just came back.
This is Jim Fallon, firm favourite at Headingley. His 2 tries in the cup quarter-final against Castleford were absolutely vital and crucial. Now Schofield. Paul Dixon. A high elbow from Dixon into the throat of Furbank, but the Bradford Northern second row wouldn't be put off. Here's Gary Mercer now, running straight at Dio Powell. Steve Malloy. Good tackling from Powell. The 2 Powells, Roy, the prop forward, and Dio, the winger. Here's Gregory bringing Schofield into it. Lovely run from Schofield. That's a nice break by Lee Harland. The last tackle. Hanley dabs the ball forward. It came off a Bradford Northern knee, and referee John Connolly says it's back to 0 on the tackle count.
Well, I think they're a bit fortunate there. Quite frankly, I thought the Bradford Northern player didn't make any attempt to either charge that down, just fired the ball at him. That should have been a handover.
Tony Marchant a bit unfortunate. James Lowes to Hanley. Was that forward? Referee Connolly says play on. Lowes again at dummy half. Gregory to Schofield. They've got an overlap on out here. If Schofield can get the ball out, he can to Fallon. Fallon. Again, Powell with the good tackle. Iro to Gregory, and Harlan drops it, gets it back, but it was knocked on.
Well, it went backwards, bounced forwards. Referee not happy with that. That's two big chances that Leeds have put down.
Leeds desperate to end their season with some success. The John Player Trophy remains their last major achievement way back in 1984. For Bradford Northern, they've been so close to two major honours, so close to Wembley and the Regal Trophy final. Both times they were beaten by Wigan. They would love to get to Old Trafford too. Penalty. Malloy, I think, the man just flopping, or maybe it was the elbow used by Lowes there.
Yes, it was James Lowes using the right elbow. That was a silly penalty to give away. Taking the pressure off Bradford then.
Then Connolly's eagle eye seeing that infringement. Hobbs to Fox, to Heron. Ball turned back inside to McGowan. Summers to Fox and Heron. And that was a difficult ball for Mick Taylor to pick up, but pick it up he did. 31 years old, former Oldham and London Crusaders winger. That's a good ball, and Furbank was watched all the way by Hanley. Last tackle for Bradford. Watson to Hobbs. He'll drill it downfield. Looked as though there was a bit too much meat behind that, but it remains in play, and Alan Tate has to run it out of the danger zone. Good chasing, though, by Fox and Medley there.
Yeah, it's an excellent kick through there. You could see how strong the wind was. It held that ball up just over the in-goal area.
Now Jim Fallon, but Bradford Northern sticking to the tackling task extremely well. And Heron, perhaps a bit over-enthusiastic against Iro. The New Zealander didn't like that. The referee, Connolly, quickly in. It was a high tackle.
Well, another stupid penalty. You can see the loose forward, Heron, gets him down and throws the elbow into him. All that hard work, the good kick from the skipper, David Hobbs. And rightly so, John Connolly having a few words to Heron, saying that he went down with him, he's not going to get away with it. But all that wasted time and effort now, just because of that. He claims he didn't do it. Not surprisingly, the Kiwi Kevin Iro not too happy.
Schofield gives that penalty plenty of air, finds the roof on the main stand opposite. And Steve Malloy almost through, but Roy Powell just managed to ankle tap him. Here's Dixon. Lowes, the acting halfback, Gary Mercer.
Quite a bit going on between Dixon and the second row of Carl Fairbank. That's the second time they've mingled.
Lowes with a little half break and a good run too, taking Leeds up to the 20-metre mark. Hanley to Gregory to Schofield. Schofield hanging on, jinking his way past Heron over the top, inviting Kevin Iro to have a run. Iro using his strength, heading for the corner, just held back. Good tackle again, Marchant and Dio Powell. Referee's whistle sounds, penalty Leeds.
They didn't get back to 10.
Quick penalty taken by Leeds. Gregory gets on with it, finds Hanley. Big gap opens up for Hanley. Hanley with the strength, and he loses it over the line.
Well, it was a huge gap that the lead skipper went through, just didn't have the pace. Interfered with there with Steve McGowan. Did it slip out or was it pulled out? Either way, it's been deemed as a knock-on.
So Bradford head and feed. And in possession with David Watson. That's a good run. That's a great run from Roger Simpson, the full-back, and it had to be a good tackle from Gary Schofield. Heron now, over halfway. Bradford on a roll.
Such a talented full-back, this Roger Simpson. A real live wire. It took a great tackle from Schofield to stop him.
Watson, little reverse pass, finds McGowan. 3 Leeds players, though, bring him down. Now Derek Fox, almost a Leeds player before he arrived at Bradford Northern. Fairbank dropped the ball, but he says that Gary Mercer had a hand in it.
Well, you can see Fairbank trying to get the left arm, trying to get the ball away. Blaming to the referee, Connolly. Wouldn't have anything of it.
Gregory. Alan Tate. Good tackling, Summers. Finished off by Roy Powell. 0-0 here at Headingley. An entertaining enough opening 8 minutes or so, though. Bradford with their tackling, although Iro skipped away from that one from Roy Powell, but he can't get away from that. That ball went forward to Schofield. Play on, says the referee. Jim Fallon, he gets away from Simpson, can't get away from Marchant.
That was miles forward.
Here's Lee Harlan, one of the new young breed at Headingley, 18 years old. I was going to say Bradford Northern sticking to the task well and proving that they are the big improvers. How will they deal with that bomb from Tate? They don't have to worry, it runs dead.
The swirling wind there, a little bit of a confusion in the Bradford, but just too far from Tate.
10 minutes gone then, still 0-0.
There's no love lost out between those two sides. They really are getting into each other. Referee John Connell will have to keep an eagle eye on this one.
David Hobbs and Summers. And this now is Mick Taylor. Mick Taylor with his opposite number, Jonathan Scales, all over him. Number 5 there in Leeds colours, signed from Newcastle Gosforth, only a teenager. The latest Leeds recruit from Rugby Union. Misplaced pass from David Heron. Fortunately, Tony Marchant was there. Now Derek Fox, the kick was charged down by Lowe's. Play on, says referee Connolly. Malloy has it for Leeds.
Good play by the hooker Lowe's, getting involved there, not allowing Fox much time.
This is Paul Dixon. Oh, a high tackle from Hobbs, and the referee pointing at Hobbs. He's pulled him back.
Did the right thing, the referee, allowing play on to see if there's any advantage, but you can see that Hobbsy there, swinging left arm. Once the tackle was finally completed, Connolly suggesting that no advantage was gained.
So David Hobbs conceding the penalty, and Simon Irving, in conversation with his captain Hanley, has decided that he will have a shot at goal.
Quite a bit of high tackling on show so far. These two sides, as I mentioned before, not a great deal of love between them, especially in the forwards. Keep your eyes out for Paul Dixon and Carl Fairbank. They really have had a go already.
So Simon Irving, 58 goals, 4 goals from 5 shots against Leon Thursday night. Just measuring up this first chance for points, and measuring it up well. Irving kicks the goal. Leeds have a 2-point advantage. 2-0 then, Leeds lead Bradford. The Simon Irving penalty. He has been gaining a reputation recently, Simon Irving, as a try scorer, 5 touchdowns in his last 6 games, but he also is a kicker of some repute. And that ball bouncing awkwardly for Schofield, couldn't get hold of it, and Powell has come up with the ball for Bradford. This now is Watson. Bradford trying to reply immediately. Hobbs on the run, trying to run through Hanley. And Bradford, within 2 tackles, have got to within 3 metres of the Leeds posts. Fox to Roy Powell. Derek Fox, the dummy half. David Heron, and he brings David Watson into it. Watson just drops the ball, and Paul Dixon says thank you.
Well, Watson was hoping that Tony Marchant would come up a little bit quicker than that. There you see David Watson run at the angle, created it, went back inside, and really the support play should have been there.
Steve Malloy with the run. Malloy appears to have established himself in the back half of the season as Leeds' first choice prop. Handling errors. 4-3, and this is the last tackle. And Jonathan Scales invited to have a run. And that's a high tackle on Scales. David Heron again, was it? Neil Summers was in. Welcome to rugby league, Jonathan Scales.
Combination.
He's not given it.
But Dave Heron was the one. I can't believe that. He went over the shoulders.
No penalty. Bradford able to capitalise on the turnover rule, but Fox drops it. And Leeds now have it back with Haaland. Lovely jinking run from the youngster. Oh, great run. Gives it back to Tate. Well, it's thunderous stuff. Hanley. Just over a quarter of an hour gone. 2-0. The Simon Irving penalty for Leeds. Gregory in possession for them. Switches direction to Mercer. He gives it to Hanley. Kevin Iro calling for the ball. Schofield taking it on himself, turning a lovely backhanded pass into Fallon, and Fallon taking play to within a yard of the line. Alan Tate clapping his hands, wants to get on with it. Bradford lying all over the man with the ball. Referee says Leeds to get on with it. Gregory, collision with Hobbs, gets the ball away to Malloy. Good pressure, there's sustained pressure from Leeds. Hanley out to Irving. Scales, oh, drops it. Jonathan Scales was about to crown his debut.
But was it a high one?
It was a high tackle.
It was, there's no doubt about it.
He's not given that one either.
Well, Mick Taylor went for the man. And Jonathan Scales, he knows he's having a pretty tough baptism. But he appeared to hit it high, and he appeared to try to get the ball down just before the line. It's an unusual current affairs.
Andy Gregory, meanwhile, has gone off. I think he's got a cut on the head, so it's a blood bin substitution. Gregory goes off, and Andy Goodway comes on. That's where it happened. It was that collision between Gregory and David Hobbs. But Leeds have got the possession from the scrum, with Alan Tate now on the charge. Bradford having to marshal their defence quickly. There's some pressure here from Leeds with Hanley. That's how close he is. It was a good tackle from Watson. Marchant in there again too. And it bounces off the knee of Fallon and runs dead. Leeds are examining Bradford, but they can't get the ball down.
Good play on the blind side from Schofield. But Fallon just gets a knee in the way. It was going a little bit low, but he really should have taken that. Another chance has gone. And they could be ruining this, the Leeds side, late on in the game. So many chances gone begging.
Only Wigan and St Helens have won here at Headingley this season. Wakefield have got a draw, 26 all. But Leeds have conceded 86 points in their last 3 home games. They should have scored quite a few here already. The possession tells its own story. Leeds have had the ball twice as long as Bradford. But Bradford still in with a big shout here and in control now with Medley. Summers, Roy Powell drops it. Oh dear, the Bradford handling is not so clever at the moment.
Another mistake, sending Peter Fox up the wall. He knows what happened. Roy Powell looking at the defence coming towards him rather than making sure of the possession. All these players out there, Eddie, they're fully aware that there's a lot of fire and venom going into the tackles.
Well, we make it, there's 11 handling errors, make that 12. 7 to Leeds and 5 to Bradford. That was the 7th from Lowe's.
Well, they pulled him out of the hooking position, put him in at the standoff. Won't be happy with it now. Now he goes to half-back.
All this because Andy Gregory is off in the blood bin, and Andy Goodway, his replacement, is a forward. This is Steve McGowan.
Yes, you could see Schofield straight away after Lowe's had dropped that ball in his position, said, "You feed, I'll take."
Summers to Powell. And the Bradford Northern crowd now appealing that that was a high tackle on Powell, another former Leeds man. Of course, so many Leeds, ex-Leeds players in this Bradford side. It really is a big match for them. This is Roger Simpson, the full-back.
I just get that feeling it's ready to explode.
Derek Fox, David Hobbs, Paul Medley. Last tackle for Bradford Northern. Summers. And it didn't go out on the full. Almost. It just caught the whitewash, I think.
Good play by the hooker. Of course, Neil Summers playing in that position for the first time in his career at professional level. I think he'll add a new dimension to the forward pack. Very quick, especially from dummy half.
We're midway through this first half then, and Leeds have the possession, and Scales is pulled down again. Referee says get up, get on with it, and there he says the tackle was round the collar and not round the neck. Tate with the run and Powell with the tackle.
Well, he's a pretty tall guy, isn't he, this Scales, and he runs with his head back.
Irving trying to get away from Dio Powell, can't do so. Lowe's, Schofield, Dixon. Hanley, Schofield to Mercer, to Kevin Iro. Iro trying to get the ball away. Really, that was suicide. That's a knock-on, though, by David Heron. Unforced errors from both sides. The toll is mounting here.
Well, he really should have tried that. But he will give the knock-on, the first one going against Leeds. This should be a Bradford feed, but is it?
No, it's Leeds feed.
Well, he's claiming that the ball came off a Bradford one as Iro was trying to pass it.
But now, oh, it's a penalty. It's a penalty to Leeds. For foot up at the scrum, I think.
Yes, he was striking at him while he was trying to pick the ball up out of the back of the scrum. You see clearly. Lowe's bends down, and watch it. There's the kick. Split second before that, it'd have been okay. David Hobbs would have been allowed to do that. But once it's in the hands, you can't do it.
Malloy playing the ball back to Goodway. He brings Schofield into it, who says to Mercer, you have a run at this robust Bradford Northern defence. Goodway at dummy half. Going on the blind side, Goodway! Just held up. Leeds, though, some pressure from them here. Lowe's just couldn't find a way over. Perhaps they can here now with Schofield, who spreads it a little wider to Malloy. He asks Tate to have a go, and Tate drops it under the pressure, and that's good thinking from David Watson again.
Well, Watson interfering there with the fullback Alan Tate. Did he get a finger to it? Either way, both sides are playing panic football. That's been brought about by the strong defence from either side. They're moving up quickly.
Nonchalant stuff from David Watson, gives it to Medley, and Medley gives it out to Taylor, and another knock-on for Bradford. The standards poor at the moment.
Wasn't the best pass either from Paul Medley. And I think the message will go out from both coaches. Calm things down very quickly. Panic football from both sides, bringing plenty of errors.
We've only had 22 minutes, and according to us, we've had 16 handling errors. Schofield to Tate. Jonathan Scales, he's been the victim of one or two high tackles, but the referee hasn't seen it that way. This is Jim Fallon. Gets the ball away to Iro, who dances away from Heron. Tries to get away from Derek Fox, who takes him round the ankles. Andy Goodway to Lowe's. To Mercer. Here's Scales again. How will they deal with him this time? Completely fairly. Big collision between the two number 12s, Fairbank and Gary Mercer. Oh, the ground shuddered then. This is Schofield.
Once again, this tight defence coming to. This is a replay. And quite frankly, I think Fairbank came off the worst.
Alan Tate with the side of the boot, and it's precision stuff.
Good thinking there by Tate. Seen the opening on the blind side. Nutmegged Carl Fairbank.
New development here at Headingley. In the background there, as that scrum went down, a new banqueting area. 25 minutes gone, 2-0 to Leeds. Powell with the run, straight into Schofield. Dixon helping out too. Roy Powell, wrapped up by Ellery Hanley. The Leeds captain, looking to pick up a record for try scoring for a forward this year. Emphasising the great gulf in possession, that team tackle statistic. Referee does not get the pleasure of Mr. Hobbs. He says it's a knock-on.
Well, it was pinched.
Rose feeds the scrum. The referee this time says play on. Irving and Goodway. 11 scrums in the opening 25 minutes. Schofield. Harland on the charge. Harland, the young second rower, played 5 of the last 7 for Leeds. Hanley looking for another of the tries. He's got 34 this season. The record for a forward 40 set in 1971 by Bob Haig. And of course Hanley began at Bradford Northern his career. Fallon is hauled down by Roger Simpson. Leeds again so close on the last tackle. Goodway from dummy half. Pass to Schofield. He gives Mercer the chance, and Mercer goes over the top. But it's a forward pass. It's brought back, no try. Mercer thought he'd somersaulted his way to the line, but referee John Connolly says it was forward.
Well, it was marginal, but just in front, I suppose, as far as John Connolly was concerned. It's a beautiful pass by Schofield. You could see that sucked Hobbs in there. Nice effort by Watson in the end, and that is another mistake.
Well, Bradford going through the horrors at the minute. Remarkably, though, the handling error count still sees them behind Leeds, but the errors are coming thick and fast. This, meanwhile, is Schofield. Gets the ball away to Kevin Iro. Has Iro got the strength this time? No.
How long can this Bradford defence hang on? So much pressure upon them.
Hanley with it now. Schofield. Marchant, the tackler. Tate directing operations from dummy half. Almost another mistake then by Gary Mercer. He held on to it though. Goodway. And Lowe's. And are they over this time? No, I don't think so. They're held up, are they? Dixon is held up on his back. Couldn't get the ball down.
Strength of Dixon there, but the scrambling defence by Bradford is superb. Did the right thing there, Dixon, realising that they've got to go back into the scrum with head and feet. Bit of an injury there to the skipper, Ellery Hanley. This will be 6 more for Leeds.
Lowe's feeds, Lowe's gets the ball. Now it's with Irving, courtesy of Schofield. He looked inside for Tate. He stood away from the tackle. He can't do that. He was grounded. It's a penalty to Bradford.
Well, that's another one that they've blown. His progress was halted. Marchant definitely stopped him. Just lost his marbles there. Down he gone. There you see the arm and the ball. That means that he's grounded. He's stopped. He has to play the ball there. And that is another chance that Leeds have just frittered away. Really, Eddie, they should have been at least 15 or 16 points in front.
I think they know it, and I think Bradford know too. This is Summers on a good run from dummy half. That's why Peter Fox has made him hooker today. They're all after him. Scales and Tate. Good tackling from Tate. But that's why Summers is in the hooking role today, to try and give them more variation from the play the ball. Watson to Roger Simpson, to Carl Fairbank, and another mistake. Both these sides have got butterfingers.
Well, just wasting chances, aren't they? The picture sells it all. But what a great run there by Neil Summers, we mentioned earlier. He's very fast from the dummy half position, and he showed it then.
Lowe's trying to get away from Roger Simpson, almost did, but Roy Powell came in to lend his considerable weight, and Malloy now charges downfield. Goodway to Massa, crunch, Fairbank.
What a great tackle from Fairbank there, ball and all.
Dixon gets the ball away to Goodway. He finds Irving, who juggles with it, takes on Watson and Taylor. Jonathan Scales releases the ball to Hanley, to Schofield. Fluid movement from Leeds. Harlan back to Lowe's. Lowe's still going. Heron brings him to ground. Last tackle.
Wonderful football by Leeds. They're keeping it alive now.
Schofield over the top. Simpson read it well. That was good play from the fullback.
Excellent positioning there. Eyes on the ball. He realised that Schofield had mastered it, the little chip over. His position was superb. Oh, it's great play by Iro.
And strength too from Dio Powell. He just stayed in the field of play. Had he been tackled in goal, it would have been a drop out from underneath the posts. Watson spinning and getting the ball away to Derek Fox. And Derek Fox getting a facial off Ellery Hanley. Summers at dummy half, last tackle. Hobbs clears the ground, but only as far as Fallon. He managed to stay in the field of play. He didn't touch the line. He ran straight at Hobbs and continues the movement going.
Oh, he must have been a millimetre away. That was good touch judging then.
Tate takes it over for Leeds, invites Jonathan Scales to have another run, and Medley this time grounds the winger. Tate at dummy half, gave it to Goodway, then almost gave it to Goodway, took it back. Schofield to Hanley, Hanley through the gap. And Andy Gregory is back, but on the bench, not back out on the field of play yet. Schofield, Dixon.
This is marvellous defence by Bradford. They're scrambling back.
Schofield, Hanley. How long can this Bradford defence hold on? Lowe's, James Lowe's, scragged to the floor by Marchant. Did he play that ball properly? It's the last tackle. Tony Iro slides one through, and again Bradford come up with the ball courtesy of Watson.
Well, the answer to your question about playing the ball correctly, he didn't. You're supposed to get up and play it like that, not while you're laying on the ground. Look at this. Even though it's been interfered with Marchant, either way, he's got to get up and play it correctly. Face the right way.
Fox, dummy half for Bradford. McGowan now. Strong run, he makes 9 metres. Andy Gregory, by the way, if he's going to come back and the substitution not count, he has only got a quarter of an hour from the moment when he left the field. And so I think the substitution might well be counting here for Leeds. Theo Powell just couldn't get hold of Fallon. Good play from the Leeds winger. Stepping through the challenge, standing up to the task well, getting Schofield into it. He finds Dixon. Schofield now back this way to Haaland. Well, the crowd will be enjoying it. The errors thick and fast. They've come all the way through from the very first whistle. And there's another. Mercer dropping the ball, but was it stolen? No, knock on is the referee's decision.
Mercer definitely dropped it then. Fairbank was nowhere near with his hands. Appealing to the referees, Mercer, the Kiwi. To no avail, I'm afraid. The error count builds again. And I'm just wondering, Eddie, when either side are going to start doing some moves. A little kick over like that.
And it's a chip over the top that Roger Simpson might capitalise on. He's got round Iro, but Hanley was able to come back and bring him down. The fact that Iro moved across just checked Simpson's stride. But Bradford still sweeping forward. That was forward pass. This is Marchant. The movement is allowed to continue. Heron at acting halfback to Roy Powell. It'll be quite amazing if Bradford get the first try after all that Leeds pressure. We're inside the final 5. 2-0 Leeds. Watson at dummy half. This is David Hobbs. And he's dropped it, or was that stolen? Decision for the referee. The decision is knock on, and Hobbs can't believe it.
Well, did Ellery Hanley get that right hand involved in it? It looked it to me. Well, that's quite a few of those. A little wry grin on the skipper. I think he knows he got away with that. Trouble is, Eddie, with a lot of these tacklers, they're all going high. Simpson getting a bit upset, using the boot. You see him flip him over. Didn't get his boot in the way of it.
Malloy then, face to face with Powell. Briefly, Bradford were down the other end of the field, but Leeds continue to have the welter of possession in their favour. It's 6 to go. Bradford got a boot into the loose ball. So 6 more for Leeds. It's now 5 more.
Well, this is where Leeds have to go through now and set up for a move. Surely this defence has been so strong. They've got to try to bamboozle Bradford.
Hanley takes it over from Schofield. Hanley going on his own, over the top, miles forward. Did he get it down? No, foot in touch. I thought it was a forward pass anyway, and John Connolly agrees with me. He's brought the movement back anyway.
Wasted effort now, even though the replay will show that he was definitely in touch before he got the ball to ground. Good cover defence again. It's been tremendous scrambling defence from Bradford, but that was a wasted pass by the lead skipper, Hanley. Made a beautiful break and then wasted it.
Question has to be asked, Steve-o, how long can Bradford hang on to all this pressure that Leeds are putting on them?
Well, their cover defence, they're scrambling back. It's as though their life depended upon it.
Watson gets away from Irving, tries to swat Hanley away.
Leeds have got to be careful that they're not caught with a counter punch.
Heron, Iro and Mercer, the 2 Kiwis for Leeds, bringing him down. The other Kiwi, of course, Craig Innes, is out injured. And that tackle from Mercer on Summers was legal. Now Tony Marchant. Well, he had the hat pulled off him then by Andy Goodway, who dropped on him. Pulled down by the ears.
Well, that has to be a high tackle, hasn't it? Well, whoever's cooking for these guys tonight, make the meat very soft, because there's going to be some sore jaws tonight.
And that ball from the penalty parted what little hair Steve-O's got left. It came straight up on the gantry. Now Medley. And, well, Irving's got to be offside. He came from round the corner. He wasn't standing square.
Another lack of concentration there. He tried to get square to him. Quick play the ball. Penalty given. And what a great time for Bradford to score after defending so well for so long.
It's been a catalogue of errors, hasn't it? But it's been exciting for all of that. Here's Roy Powell. Summers to Hobbs. To Fox. To Heron. Fairbank. McGowan. Bradford keeping the ball alive well. McGowan's away from Hanley. Great tackle, Tate. They had to be two. Fox. Watson. And I thought he dropped it, but I don't think he has. No, play on. Heron. Bradford continuing the movement with Marchant. Iro all over him.
Surely Fox will put in a little grubber, run around, something different.
Powell running straight at Malloy. It's the last tackle for Bradford. They are so close. There's Fox. There's Watson. Heron tries to hack it forward. Irving bravely comes up with the ball.
Good play by Heron, kicks it through, but equal to it is Simon Irving. He was brave there.
Half-time siren. Bradford will be relieved about that. 2-0, that's all the Leeds advantage after half-time interval. Not a question really of blood and thunder, more thud and blunder here at Headingley today. Simon Irving coming up with the football, saving the day for Leeds in the dying seconds of that first half. It's 2-0 lead. Half-time at Headingley then, and Leeds ahead just by the Simon Irving goal to 0. A match which has seen Leeds camped almost continuously on the Bradford line, but they've not been able to get over for any crucial tries. And Bradford in this second half will be playing with the wind at their backs. Let's see if that makes any difference to them. Mercer will run the ball away from his own goal line, grounded by Summers and Powell. And the news from the dressing room is that Andy Gregory will not return to this match. So obviously it is something a little more serious than a cut head or something like that we thought when he went off. Gregory will not return. He has a very bad cut, I'm told. Last tackle for Leeds. It's the first set of 6 in this second half. Schofield drills the ball downfield. Underneath it is Roger Simpson, first bounce. Simpson gets away almost from Iro. He makes 12 yards anyway.
Nice kick there by Schofield and good chasing by Iro.
It's Dio Powell. Fox to Roy Powell. And what must Peter Fox have said to the Bradford Northern players, Mike, at half-time? Surely, just let's hold on for a set of 6 or 2.
That is correct, and of course use the big kick downfield with this wind. That is excellent play. David Hobbs, supreme kick downfield. This will be the pattern of this second half. That I am quite sure.
Peter Fox in green, in the centre of your picture. Obviously telling his players to do exactly what Steve-O says and drill that ball downfield, let it catch the wind whenever possible in this second half. And it's come up for them, has it? No. David Hobbs thought he'd come up with the ball against the head, but the referee wants the scrum to reform.
Yes, the ball not coming out behind the second rowers. That had no choice because that's where it was fed.
Scales almost through. Certainly shown a lot of bravery, the 18-year-old winger. And Hanley on the charge finds Tate. Tate picks up pace. Look at him go, the fullback. Can Simpson catch him? The answer, no. Alan Tate, first try. It's taken just 3 minutes of the second half. Super speed from the Leeds fullback.
Stone's bit of championship replay. Excellent football from the skipper, Ellery Hanley. Bradford paid the price of going too high. He looked for support and it was there. The speed, Tate did the right thing. You could see Simpson looming in, so he went in an arc towards the wing and it paid off for him. The crab-like run that has been made this man so famous, you could see they went far too high. Powell and Heron, they were the culprits. You can see Simpson to him, so he goes in the arc, pulls him away. That's great thinking by Alan Tate, and that is a great try.
Yes, great try from Alan Tate, the Great Britain international, the man who rejoined coach Dougie Lawton from Widnes, where he began his career last summer. 55 tries for Widnes now, 11 this season for Alan Tate. Simon Irving, just the one penalty goal in the first half. Now with this conversion attempt from far out on the right-hand touchline. And it just misses. So Leeds 6, Bradford 0, but at last the first try.
When two men go in and they don't succeed in the tackle, the skirt comes through, the rest is history. Beautiful support play. The speed of the man, but this is where it counted. See how he goes in the arc into the corner. Just adds that extra yard for Simpson to just stop and go for.
Bradford have restarted, Gary Mercer moving the ball out, and while Irving was taking that conversion attempt, number 15 there in the tackle, Glenn Barraclough has come on, and Dio Powell, the winger, has gone off. Barraclough in another tackle there, and he is a hooker. It'll be interesting to see how Peter Fox reorganises his side. Looks like Marchant's gone onto the wing where Powell was. At the moment, though, Leeds are in possession with Steve Malloy. Bradford released him for a moment and then closed in.
Yeah, it looks as though Neil Summers has taken up a centre position.
Schofield drops one over the top. There's Marchant, out now on the wing. Can't get away from Schofield, who followed the kick up.
Well, it's an amazing thing that the first time, really, that Bradford make a bad error in regards to tackling high, and Leeds take full advantage of it. It was a wonderful pass by Ellery Hanley.
Northern will continue to take heart, though, from the fact they've soaked up so much pressure, and the gap is only 6 points. Leeds anxious to erase the memory of that 36-6 drubbing at Odsal in September. That kick will not run dead. Tate will have to run it out, and he gets past Watson. He certainly has lost none of his speed this season, Alan Tate. Now Jim Fallon. Almost inviting the Bradford Northern forwards to come and get him. And then dumped to the ground by Derek Fox. Good way Oh, and that was unfortunate for Malloy. Just caught it on his hip and he couldn't hang on to it.
Tree was trying to bring it forward, just rolled off the hip. The gap was there. Beginning to find the gaps now, Leeds. They've stepped up a gear. Obviously, they don't want to be brought into a forward battle. They're quite happy to keep this ball alive out wide.
Here's Roger Simpson. Bradford aiming for their first big league double over Leeds since 1987-88 season. They completed the league double over Halifax at Easter, but then they lost 6 points to 12 to Hull Kingston Rovers in midweek. Roy Powell for Bradford, taking the play into that Leeds danger zone. There's Barraclough, and now Fox. Summers tried to kick the ball forward. Tussle going on between Goodway and Summers. The referee says it's Goodway's.
Well, it looked an accidental knock on there. Referee gave him the benefit of the doubt. I've seen many who would put a scrum down then.
Now Lee Harlan. That ball's come clear, and it's with Marchant. Marchant trying to get round Tate. Support arrives from Watson. Oh, good tackling back by Leeds. They now have to defend stoutly, and Schofield's all over Watson. The play on says, referee Connolly, this is Derek Fox. Heron turns the ball back to Powell. Bradford almost strolling up to support this attack. So close now, Bradford. Here's Paul Medley. Watson from dummy half. Gets the pass away to Fox. Fox dinks it forward, it's 6 to go. And Fox has taken Bradford to within, what, 6 inches of the Leeds posts? 6 more tackles. Big effort required from the Leeds defence here, and Iro has come up with it. The ball was meant for Fairbank, and it went straight instead to Kevin Iro.
Well, David Heron gave Fairbank a real mouthful there. Supposed to come through, and it just slipped in front of him. Misunderstanding there in the Bradford camp. And another let off to Leeds.
Schofield misses out Goodway, finds Dixon, but Dixon can only fingertip it down to the ground. And Neil Summers has it back for Bradford. 6 more for Bradford then here. Roy Powell.
Well, with so many mistakes, it's obvious that these players are looking for what's coming at them, and there's been plenty coming at them.
Hobbs, ball back inside to Fairbank. One-handed from Fairbank to Barraclough. A huge handling error count on both sides. Heron. Summers. Long pass to Mick Taylor. Held up by Scales and finished off by Irving. 10 minutes of this second half gone. It's 6-0. Fairbank to Simpson. Simpson looking for the way through. But Leeds' defence, which has been just a touch shaky all season, is standing firm here this afternoon so far. Fox to the outside of the boot, asking Marchant to chase it. Tate collects it, but Marchant had moved from an offside position. He was inside the 10 despite the bemused look.
Touch and go, wasn't it, really? But you can see the referee Connolly shouting out to Marchant, stay off him. Here's the replay again. Ooh, it's pretty close, isn't it?
Looks harshly done to, doesn't he? But the referee pointing at Marchant.
Yes, he told him well before he got to him.
That's a terrible penalty from Schofield. It hasn't found touch, it's found Roger Simpson instead.
Well, it's an amazing game of rugby league, isn't it? Schofield, the try-saver, with a wonderful tackle on Watson a couple of minutes before. And a woeful kick there.
Barraclough turns the ball back to Fox. He finds Watson. Watson can't get away from Iro. Fairbank at dummy half. Derek Fox and Roy Powell on the charge. Powell through a little gap. Standing in the tackle briefly electing to take the tackle in the end, falls. That's how close he is. Barraclough to Fox. Fox decides to go the other way to Watson. Watson jinking and turning, bringing McGowan into it. Steve McGowan, those long legs of his, looking for the opening. Barraclough over the top to Marchant, and Marchant's in. Marchant with the try for Bradford, and they are delighted. Try against Leeds in September, 16 tries last season. He's Bradford's leading scorer.
Stone bit of championship replay. The New Zealander David Watson dancing, weaving, switching, getting the ball away. McGowan, the long ball out wide, and you'll see quite clearly the substitute there. Long ball out wide, and Fallon is off his wing. The gap is there, and Marchant takes full advantage of it. Good play here, keeping it alive. Barraclough can see. There's Fallon, is in no man's land. This man is in for the try. A bad mistake there, bad defence, it sucked in, and Bradford have taken full advantage of it. Excellent play.
So last season's leading scorer, Tony Marchant, makes it 18 for this season. And David Hobbs now, from almost the front row of the stand on that far side, tries to add the extra 2. A wonderful kick from David Hobbs off the line. Oh, that caught the breeze perfectly and sailed over the crossbar. So this match all square at 6 points apiece. Tony Marchant, Bradford Northern's leading try scorer in the big league, with the try in the corner and a truly magnificent touchline conversion from David Hobbs. The first real glimpse of quality from a match that has been strewn with errors, Steve-O.
Yes, it's all about taking your opportunity, but they kept the ball alive, and they can thank David Watson for that, and Derek Fox. They just kept spinning around. The Leeds defence was scrambling all over. And right at the very end, you could see that poor Jim Fallon had been sucked in on that sliding defence far too much. Left an open passage for the winger to go over.
It's a complete reversal of fortunes in this second half in terms of possession, but Powell's lost it, although he said the ball was stripped. Connolly checked with his touch judge, and he said play on, and so Leeds can continue this movement now. With Lowe's to Schofield, Hanley running strongly. Hanley standing in the tackle, releases the pass to Malloy. Dixon brought into it now, and Dixon crashing to earth courtesy of Summers. Good way to Gary Mercer. Mercer to Simon Irving. And Simon Irving trying simply to run straight through 2 players, Taylor and McGowan. Lowe's, Malloy. Malloy using his strength. Quarter of an hour gone, 6 points apiece. Now with Schofield. Hanley was the decoy runner. Good way setting something up over on the far side. It touched David Watson. It's play on. It's try time. It's Jim Fallon. Watson got a hand to the pass. The ball went backwards as far as Bradford are concerned, forwards as far as Leeds are concerned, and Fallon picked up the loose ball and streaked in for the try.
Stone's bit of championship replay. Lady luck on the side of Leeds, I'm afraid, on this occasion. You could see quite clearly Andy Goodway goes through, tries to get the pass away. That was a mile forward, but it came off Watson's hand. Iro gets it away. Fallon does the rest, steps inside. That is a soft try, but you've got to take these chances when they come your way. Now then, did they rip it away? It looked to me as though Mercer did get a hand to it. This is the try. Long spiral pass there from Schofield. Goodway, the substitute, gets it round. It's going forward, but it came off Watson. Obscured there for you viewers by the referee, but Fallon did the right thing. He carried on for the final whistle.
And so Irving with this conversion attempt, he gets this one. And Leeds have been gifted 6 points. They're back in the lead, 12 points to 6.
Long ball out wide. Let it roll on now. You'll see quite clearly there. The ball was going forward. Watson just stuck out the right hand. But Fallon did well. He played on, didn't wait and stop.
Not only that, he improved the angle for Simon Irving's conversion, and the 4 became 6. So Leeds back in front. Just over 17 minutes on my watch gone. Second half, 12-6. Here's Malloy. Oh, he brushes Heron out the way. Schofield is there in support. Medley's after Schofield, and Medley has him. But Steve Malloy with a barnstorming run. Hanley now. And Dixon. Oh, collision between Dixon and Furbank. There's been a few of those, hasn't there?
They've been at each other all the game.
Schofield opening up the way for Mercer to feed Hanley, and Hanley with the strength, but Powell with the tackling. Leeds rampant at the moment. Schofield, long pass out. Irving, he must get in the corner, he drops it. Medley with the collision tackle.
Wonderful tackle, ball and all by Medley. You could see the power. It just jolted the ball free from Irving. But excellent play by Leeds. Notably the prop forward, Steve Malloy. He just steamrolled David Heron. Boy, oh boy, this is a tough one.
Hobbs unloads the pass to Derek Fox.
It's as though, Eddie, that both these packs have decided to prove who's the strongest and the toughest. They've taken it to each other.
Heron with the run. He brings Watson into it. Watson's got Fallon with him. He's got Marchant too. Marchant's through Tate, and Marchant's going to score! Oh, from one end and then to the other, and Marchant with his second try of this match. Heron with the break. Credit him for the assist.
Beautiful play. The Stones bit of championship replay. McGowan and Heron there. Throws the dummy. And Watson does wonderful just at the right moment when he's trying to be tackled by Fallon. He goes inside. Tate, not the best attempted tackle, but Marchant has the strength. And the game is wide open again. Look at the dummy. They held off him. It was Merson and Goodway. They took the dummy, but excellent play by Watson just as Fallon dips. The ball back inside. Tate just turning at the wrong moment. Full advantage, the determination, great play.
Delight on the face of Tony Marchant. The picture told its own story. 2 tries for Marchant. And David Watson, having created that try, is leaving the field to be replaced by Tony Anderson. But David Hobbs kicked one off the touchline a few minutes ago. Not quite as difficult this time, but the result is the same. We're level pegging at Headingley again. 12 points. Yes, it's come alive second half, hasn't it? 12 all, 2-0 at half-time. These two keen West Yorkshire rivals are at each other's throats.
Yes, they've battered each other. They've really gone into it. Okay, there's been quite a lot of mistakes, but that's been brought about by the pressure applied by the defence.
The corresponding fixture last season went to Leeds 22-12. It was their 4th consecutive league win over their closest rivals here at Headingley. But Bradford Northern today are in the mood to break that sequence. Fox will drill one over the top. Alan Tate, stopped by Powell and Mick Taylor.
Well, the rain is driving now into the Leeds faces. The wind is getting stronger. And what a lift for Bradford. They looked out of it at 12-6, but they bounced back.
Good way. He went to play the ball. He wasn't quick enough. Fairbank got it back. He raked for it with the studs and got it.
Tried to make a quick play the ball and suffered the consequences.
Here's Hobbs. A few great conversions from Hobbs. Takes that tackle. McGowan is the man at dummy half. This is Derek Fox. And now Carl Fairbank. Oops. Fairbank fell as he played that ball. And Hanley was able to tackle Barraclough. It was the 5th in this set of 6. Back with Hobbs. High kick from Hobbs. Underneath it, Tate. Roy Powell following up.
Did well there, Tate. You could see the right knee coming forward just in case anyone was going to come near. I think it'll go down to the wire, this one, perhaps with a drop goal. Such as the defence.
Gary Mercer has lost a boot. Oh, and he almost lost his head then as Heron went down. Lowe's didn't like it. Took retribution, and Heron all wound up, as he has been for much of this match. The one good thing about that, right at the bottom of your picture, Gary Mercer, he's got a big grin on his face.
And so he should have. He knows he's got the penalty. Tackle was pretty strong, and there you saw it. The forearm going down under Mercer. It's a silly penalty to give away. A few words being spoken. Captain's there, David Hobbs.
And he's in the sin bin, is David Heron. Just told by John Connolly to cool his heels for 10 minutes. Good refereeing, because David Heron, on this his first return to Headingley, has been all wound up all day.
Well, it's been a tough encounter all the time, but we can do without that. Morocco can do without Lowe's coming in as the second man.
Dave Heron, 35 years young, 400 Leeds appearances over 16 years, now played 36 times for Bradford Northern. Gary Mercer's none the worse for the experience, and Leeds have the penalty. And that's a much better kick from Schofield.
Hard times now for Bradford with one man down.
Here's Malloy. Fairbank in mid-air missed him. This is Dixon. Dixon with a dummy. Dixon with the try. And Bradford have paid the penalty for David Heron's indiscretion.
Stones bit of championship replay. Good play by Dixon. Through the dummy, spun round. They took it. And he would have got great pleasure going through Fairbank's tackle to score. They've been at each other's throat all day. But look at the dummy there. Barraclough took the dummy, couldn't squeeze across quick enough. But that is excellent play by the Leeds prop forward.
And of course, it was all because of David Heron's forearm into the face of Gary Mercer that Leeds got the penalty. And then the little schmozzle between Lowe's and Heron. Referee John Connolly produced the yellow card. Bradford down to 12 men, and Leeds in for the try. Simon Irving then with the conversion attempt. And a damage limitation exercise as far as Bradford are concerned. It stays at 4 points, and that's the advantage, 16-12.
You can see the runarounds expected. Schofield goes as the dummy runner. They expect, and Bradford hang off. It's as simple as that. The dummy, when it comes, look at that. Simpson and Barraclough, the gap was there and well taken.
So 16-12. 66 minutes gone. Bradford having to come from behind again. The third time now that Leeds have held the advantage in this match. But a game that really has burst to life after the first half, and runs like that from Malloy. Tremendous. Take the man from dummy half.
Good play by Malloy, and also a quick play the ball by Tate. That'll be play on.
Medley was jogging back. The ball, though, has come back for Leeds, and Hanley has it. He almost got away from Anderson, and it's 6 more to go. It bounced off Medley, and the referee said play on. This is Schofield dancing out of one tackle and then being absolutely clobbered by Glenn Barraclough. Hanley to Tate. Back inside to Iro. Still going Iro. Hanley is there in support with one boot, so too is Schofield, he's there. And Bradford, their scrambling defence, stands firm again. Goodway. Iro. Mercer running straight, but Powell read it perfectly. Schofield again, and Goodway once more. Dixon asked for it. Perhaps he got more than he bargained for. Last tackle. Goodway hoists the kick across the face of play. Marchant drops it. Hanley nearly swooped on it. Tate has it. And Anderson has wheeled Tate in. 6 to go for Leeds. Malloy. Still Malloy. Strong run. There's a Bradford Northern player down it. Continuing though with Schofield. Now Goodway. Spaces all over the place for Leeds to exploit with Dixon. Still going. Dixon drops it. McGowan has it back. Iro wrestles McGowan to the floor. McGowan looking groggy.
I can't believe that, Eddie. Bradford were down. There's 2 Bradford players on the ground. There's one in the sin bin, and Leeds failed to score. Now this came from when Marchant was trying to get the kick from Goodway. A lot of the crowd perhaps thought that Jim Fallon was interfering before he could get to the ball. He got the benefit of the doubt. The ball came through. Then I think Heron went down also. So that was 2 down, 1 on the sin bin.
And Marchant has been badly hurt here. It was that tackle from Fallon, and they've immediately called for the stretcher. It was as he went for this high ball and dropped it.
Oh, he's collided with the knee of Ellery Hanley. That is most unfortunate. A complete accident.
Well, they're supporting Tony Marchant's neck after his head collided with Hanley's knee. And he's being lifted gingerly onto the stretcher. Well, it's one of the saddest sights in rugby league and in any sport, come to that, and we've seen it twice recently on Sky Sports. First when Kevin Ward went off, and now as Tony Marchant goes off, and let's only hope and pray that it's nothing too serious.
Complete accident. Ellery Hanley trying to kick for that football, and Marchant's head collided with the knee.
As a result of it all, it's Bradford who restart with the play the ball almost on their own line. Dio Powell, by the way, has come on again for the injured Marchant. But Bradford, remember, still down to 12 men because David Heron is in the sin bin. It's all gone sadly wrong for Bradford in the last few minutes.
But that was amazing scrambling defence to say that 2 men were on the ground. They were down to 10 men actually playing and still kept Leeds out.
And Hobbs' kick downfield eludes Jim Fallon.
Beautiful kick by Hobbs. He's taking full advantage of the wind. Quite a few of the Bradford players claiming that perhaps he'd touched it. But judge had nothing of that.
72 minutes, nearly 73 minutes on the watch. It's 16-12, but a long injury stoppage here while Tony Marchant was taken off the field on a stretcher. Meanwhile, Hanley with the run, stopped by Simpson. This is Tate.
He's chimed in well as Tate in this second half. Not much opportunity for any three-quarter play in the first half. It's pretty tough.
Schofield now, and Dixon. Dixon through the challenge of Medley. Possession has levelled itself out. Malloy with the run, Irving with the football, and McGowan and Taylor bringing him down. Last one for Leeds. Schofield hoists a kick that will hang in the wind. It's been dropped by Simpson, it's fallen to Scales, and Scales just couldn't keep his feet.
Bad miss there by Simpson. It was an awkward ball in the swirling wind.
Needless to say, 6 more to go for Leeds. Fallon's on his way, and Fallon's in. Second try, Jim Fallon. The former Bath Rugby Union winger notches his 15th touchdown of his debut season.
Stone's bit of championship replay, long ball from Ellery Hanley. Out to Schofield. Schofield used the dummy on the inside, which was Goodway. A beautiful long ball. You could see there they were caught out. The defence not quick enough to get over. That's a well-taken try. Ironically, as the try was being scored, Heron was returning from the sin bin, but it was far too late. 2 long balls. Beautiful pass from Schofield. Missed out the 2 of them. There was no chance the cover could get to him. Well played by Fallon. And that should seal it for Leeds.
Jim Fallon then. Former Bath, England B Rugby Union winger. He has had an impressive debut season and 15 tries now. Simon Irving. A 50% success rate with the goal-kicking duties. Irving with the conversion attempt, misses. That's 2 from 5. And while that kick was being taken, 8 points now, the lead for Leeds. Leeds have made a substitution. Tell you after this.
Well, you can see how the Bradford defence is took there. It's a long ball over. Beautiful pass from Schofield. That does the damage against the sliding defence. And Fallon, he's got the pace, the power, and the 4 points. Beautiful football.
And that was the first touch from the substitute, Graham Holroyd. Holroyd has come on in place of Lee Harland, the other teenager, who went on to much-deserved round of applause. And Holroyd, the man who scored a try against Lee on Thursday in an outstanding match, and 2 tries as a substitute on his debut against Sheffield on Sky recently.
Yes, he's a talented youngster, Graham Holroyd. We'll see him get into this game very quickly.
This is Hanley, who has the strength to release the ball to Lowes. Lowes is still going. Tate to Mercer. Chip over the top from Mercer. That's inventive from the second rower. And he hacks it on further again. But underneath it is Summers, who runs straight into a traffic jam led by Alan Tate.
Excellent play from Mercer. He's had a very strong game, both in attack and defence. See the little chip over. You could see that Bradford had no sweeper at all.
Good defence this from Leeds. Down at the Bradford end. This is Mick Taylor. Drops it. Tries to get it back and does so.
Good tackle there by Simon Irving. You could see the impact. Squeeze the ball out. They'll play the first knock on, even though that Taylor dragged the ball back in.
Schofield to the substitute Holroyd. Lowe's. And Simon Irving now. Away from Medley, drops the ball. Lowe's gets it back. The ball went backwards, play on. Here's Holroyd. Schofield. Good way. Forward pass though from Schofield. Delayed it just a second too long.
Yeah, you could see there that he was waiting for the runner. The little dummy was just enough to send Goodway sailing through, but just in front. But it was a great pass that gave them the try that will probably seal the victory.
David Heron back on with the bandage to the head after having a bit of blood coming down from his ear. Leo Powell has returned for the injured Marchant, as I told you earlier. Tony Anderson, the substitute, to David Heron. This is out Simpson and finds Summers. He finds Medley. Medley certainly has the strength and the pace and the power to turn this game round again for Bradford. We're going to be playing about 3 or 4 minutes of stoppage time, I fancy. McGowan drops it.
Well, it's been the story of Bradford, I'm afraid. They've not respected the possession, but we keep saying it, but some of these tackles are coming through. Not surprisingly, the players are looking to see what is coming out, and some of these high-flying and head-eye tackles. A lot of elbows and arms being swinging today.
Dixon has it for Leeds. Out with Lowe's, misses out. Mercer finds Steve Malloy. Had a strong game, the Leeds prop forward. Tate. Another big game from the Leeds full-back too. We're in stoppage time now. The difference is 8 points. It's been a great contest though in this second half. Really has. Lowe's throws the ball downfield. That hit Dale Powell. Oh, it didn't. The touch judge was closer than I was, and he said it didn't touch him.
Nice kick by Lowe's there. Well, he made an attempt for it and missed it, luckily for him. Yes, as you mentioned, Eddie, it's been a strong performance from Steve Malloy. Also, the hooker James Lowe's has been moved around a little bit, but the Leeds pack so often in the past have been criticised for not rolling the sleeves up and doing the hard work. Well, they've done that this second half. They worked very hard. It's been a tough encounter.
Hobbs. Bounced pass, found Fairbank. And then Powell. The talent. 2 tries and top game on defence with tackles like that, but the ball was slipped away. Mind you, that's inventive stuff from Bradford. As he fell, Tony Anderson got to it. The ball was ricocheting all over the place. This now is Hobbs. He's brought Heron into it. This is Derek Fox looking for support, and Holroyd the man to bring him down.
He was looking, but there was none.
Heron. Taylor calling for the ball out on this near touchline. Dances inside, Scales. It can't get away from Simon Irving.
Tried to get the ball away. Was on the last anyway. Pretty tired, Larry Hanley, the lead skipper. He's worked tirelessly. So has this guy, Gary Mercer. Still going at the end, though. Sniff of victory, driving them on.
Good way to Dixon. Dixon with a great run, looking for support from Scales. Can Scales crown his debut with a try? No. They force him into touch.
Nice run by Scales, but good cover defence. Simpson and Steve McGowan was there.
Deep in stoppage time now then, and it's 20 points Leeds, 12 Bradford. Bradford have the ball with Simpson, but Iro brings him down. That's the last action of this match that burst to life at half-time. A tremendous contest in the second 40 minutes. Leeds, though, have come out on top. 2 tries from Jim Fallon in that second half. A superb debut season for Fallon. And it's now a question, really, of getting the slide rules out, waiting for the rest of the results, and then we'll know exactly how the top 8 has finished up. One thing is certain, Wigan are the champions. The race has been going on behind them all day today for the other places. Win for Leeds in their final big league fixture of the season. Battle for you against Bradford Northern, but they're never easy against them, are they?
Well, it's a local derby. We owe it to ourselves and we owe it to the fans, because we lost heavily down there early on in this season and we was out to rectify things today.
Well, I think we've all had the slide rules out, and it looks now Widnes Leeds in the first round of the Premiership at Norton Park.
Well, that'd be very nice. Obviously, we was very bitterly disappointed with the Challenge Cup result. We didn't think we did ourselves well, any justification whatsoever. We feel we let the fans down, and hopefully we can go there and rectify a few things.
Yeah, it was a big defeat and a big disappointment in the Challenge Cup semi-final, and it's 1 week before Wembley.
Well, obviously the Widnes lads they'll have a go, but they must have one eye on Wembley, and you know they're not going to want to get injured. They're all going to want to play, so you know it's probably the tie we're most happy with.
So Old Trafford beckons, eh?
Old Trafford beckons. We feel that it's our last chance to get any silverware. Well, obviously it is. It's the last chance to get any silverware. For the people that have Headingley and for the players itself. You know, it's been a long, hard season, and we'd like to round it off with a bit of success.
Perhaps the most significant fact from the statistics from this game, the handling errors, 33 of them, and 18 for Leeds, 15 for Bradford. But as you can see from that possession statistic in each half, it was going Leeds' way.